Zoom. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey.
Oh, now it's working. Guys, you don't hear us yet, though, okay? I'm not recording yet, so this is unofficial at this point. So,
Oh, no,
you know,
you're recording now.
Just please treat that as such. Whoa! Wait a minute. Guess what? It's Thursday night, and I feel like you should know what that means. To me,
Thursday Night Football.
get out of here. The only thing that you can listen to on Amazon Prime or Amazon Podcasts, if you have a Prime subscription, is wait! Did I roll a wild? You're a Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. You can do those things on Amazon Music and Amazon Prime Tuesday. But if you want to be cool, then you're here live tonight on the Twitch at twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network, watching your favorite vlog about Marvel Crisis Protocol live.
Absolute favorite.
In this chair here, the one I am sitting on, the one designated as Tim's chair, is me, Tim. I'll be your host this evening, and with me is probably one of the most reliable people in my life. It's Mr. Canned Dole.
Aw, thanks. I really try.
You do.
I gotta say, though, that chair is yours except when I'm sitting in it.
True.
Which I think is, I'm the only one that uses that chair ever.
That's fair. The other person I would accept in this chair is your son or your dog.
I knew that. Once you said your son, I was like, well, it's going to also be Georgia the dog.
So
She's not allowed in here because she eats cables.
She does eat cables.
Cables!
Cables? Who the heck is that? It's Cable. Someone I have a lot of experience with. That said, Chewy, dude. Hey, good to see you, man.
Chewy?
So yeah, there's a lot to go over tonight.
There's a shocking amount of things to go over.
And as Chewy has pointed out, Logan is not in the particular title of this episode because there's simply too much, and the place it, image that I put up for this particular one, sometimes if there's too much text there, it gets all wonky. But Rhino was teased last week, and we got a confirmation on who it was this week.
We all knew it was Rhino from that teaser. Come on.
It could have been
Cardiac?
Stegron.
He's orange.
Yeah? We didn't actually see any real foot or anything.
I called it. He's in a football 3-point stance.
Could have been.
Knew it.
Could have been Stiltman in a 3-point stance.
I mean, I guess it could have been. He's
Could've
gray.
been. Yeah.
Ish, silver, whatever.
Just saying, it wasn't confirmed until it was confirmed.
It could have been a big ice golem.
It could have been a gray one because he got a bunch of concrete and stuff mixed up in there.
It's not always pure.
Right, exactly. So we got Rhino revealed. We're gonna speculate on that, right? We saw a tweak, a balance update, some might say, a re-envisioning of some things to benefit both the people that play Malekith and the people that play against him. Actually, pretty big, massive news there. We also got the full roster affiliation for the Weapon X program. We got some updates to Logan, to Sabretooth, Apex Predator. A lot to go over. Pyro and Blob.
Which we knew it, but it's nice to be confirmed.
Pretty straightforward there, but still, listen, news is news. We also are going to be doing an episode of the cleanup phase tonight, so if you are not a member of the Patreon at patreon.com/professionalcasual, we do an additional bonus show once a month after this show. That's only on the Patreon. We talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff for the network as a whole, including some of the other shows that we have here, like a Grim Podcast of Peerless Adventure, Lost Omens, Elite Eight Showdown, maybe the Comic Book Rundown, a new to the network edition. We'll also go over some other things that are coming out, as well as kind of a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes things, and a whole lot more MCP.
MCP.
That said, as soon as this show goes offline, the cleanup phase will go live.
What's up, Brian? Oh, and Ravensguard.
Whew.
Hi.
All right. So, Ravensguard. Brian, what you've missed so far is just a rundown of all the news that we'll be covering tonight.
About comics.
About comic books, games that are related to both of those things. So, a lot happened literally just today. As far as MCP goes.
Just this afternoon, we got bombarded with news.
Bombarded.
When we hit that first thing Chewie was talking about, Logan, the Wolverine, clearly in Weapon X.
Clearly.
We knew that.
Weapon X program.
He's also in Uncanny X-Men.
He is.
Which I thought they'd said on a stream he was not going to be, so that was a nice surprise.
Ravensguard, yes. There were Malekith changes, some pretty massive ones, too. So we will be getting into that probably right at the start, honestly. I think that's something to kind of start with. We're also going to be talking about Dan and I's game from this past Monday. We're also going to be doing games played, hobby thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, Dan, did you hobby at all this week?
No.
Nuts!
The past week was like Thanksgiving week. We had some guests here, friends of the network, Quinn and Liam were here for a week.
Yeah.
So I didn't get anything done, and we had a blast. We played a ton of Dice Throne.
Yeah, we did.
We played Title Blades. You got to join
Nice.
it. We tried it once at the store, and then played it again. Was it the day after Thanksgiving? I think.
Yes.
We gave it another go, and I really enjoyed it. But I haven't gotten to do any hobby. I was so close to painting the Rivals Dr. Octopus. I just didn't quite get there. I decided I'm going to go with the Spider-Man PS4 game scheme, where he's wearing like pretty much black and like a really dark green.
Yeah. Big
Just
Time?
for something a little bit different.
Was it called Big Time? I remember in one of the previous Spider-Man games, there was a skin that was like black and like neon green that was called Big Time. Oh, for Dr. Octopus. I was thinking of Spider-Man.
No, the Dr. Octopus.
Gotcha.
I can't tell if that's in frame or not, but yeah, he's got like a dark green, like a forest green, and he's got black like boots and shoulder pads.
Nice.
I'm gonna go more for that scheme with some more. The yellow is more on the like lighting on the tentacles. I'm gonna try to put a little more effort into them than others.
I like that.
But that's the plan. Haven't gotten to execute it just yet.
Speaking of executing, do you know what I executed this week? As far as hobby stuff goes?
Hobby stuff. Okay.
I received, actually, on the night that we were playing Title Blades, 2 models that Taylor had completed during the Hobby Hangout on Tuesday nights right here on the Twitch.
Yeah.
He completed Bully Cap and Scourge.
Another one. Yeah, that's it.
So I have those like ready to go that I can just like use whenever. I'm very excited for. I'm pretty stoked to try out Bully Cap. Also, guess what? Fam, someone's going to be streaming some Midnight Suns right here on the Twitch too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who it is?
Who?
Me.
Oh, cool.
I'm very excited about it.
I wasn't really interested in that game until it started getting good reviews, and I was like, oh, is this not going to be trash? Because, okay.
I love that game type. And one of like the big drama things about that particular game, the Midnight Suns game, they're like, it's actually not like XCOM. It's more like Fire Emblem. And I was like, what?
Wait a minute.
That's so much better. Okay.
So it's a turn-based tactical RPG?
Yes.
I'm a little more interested now.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to watch.
I mean, XCOM is also a
streaming of it.
turn-based tactical.
I don't know anything about XCOM. I just know it's really hard.
Oh, it's not. You just put Overwatch on everyone. And then as soon as anyone moves closer, literally all your snipers fire at them.
Sure. Like, I've heard of the game. I think I've
Yeah.
seen images of it, but I understand it was Midnight Suns is by the developers of XCOM, but it's not like Marvel XCOM. They were
Correct.
like, it's not the same game. We can make other games.
And
So
yeah,
I'll definitely watch your streams of it to see if it's something I'm interested in more.
I'm just so stoked for it. Nico is in it. One of my
Yeah,
favorites.
Nico Minoru.
Yes. Nico,
Is
Ghost Rider.
Wiccan in there?
I don't believe so.
No? Okay.
Because I probably would have lost my mind. I wouldn't be here right now if Wiccan
It came
was
out
in that game.
today?
It comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But yeah. So anyway, sorry guys. There's really a lot to go over. All right. So I have Bully Cap and I have Scourge ready to go.
Nice.
I didn't yet check out Taylor's Hobby Hangout from last night. So I believe Human Torch and maybe Hogan's Heroes.
He was definitely working on them because I was like, Dum Dum! And he was like, wow, why are you calling me that? I'm like, no, Dum Dum Dugan. He's like, what does that mean? I'm like, you're painting him. And he's like, oh.
I love Taylor. I love Taylor
So good. He's
gosh
like,
dang much.
I don't know what those words mean. I'm like, oh my God, Taylor, I love you so much.
Ben, can I stream while we're on a Discord chat? Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, that sounds even
Yeah,
more reason to check.
I'll be in the Discord chat, streaming that. So if you're not, if you haven't subscribed here on the Twitch or joined the Patreon at patreon.com/professionalcasual, that's how you get access to the Discord. You can even throw just an Amazon Prime sub here at the Twitch and get access to it as well. It's a great, honestly, place. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But all right. So I have those characters. There's so much. Let's get right into it. Malekith changes. We need to just start right there. These are
FAQ
big.
and errata document. It was almost hidden in there. I almost didn't look because I'm like, there's not usually anything major. It's like clarification on wording on a tactics card, and I was like, Malekith changes?
These not only were there Malekith changes, these were the exact changes we talked about, I think in episode 82, 83, something around that line.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, 10 episodes ago is still multiple months.
Oh, fair, yeah. And it's nothing that crazy.
It's
it's a power
kind
cost
of what was
tweak.
needed. Yeah.
So I'll do the first one. So the first one is replace the text of Conqueror of the 10 Realms superpower with the following text.
Mm-hmm.
During the power phase, this character gains 1 additional power. That's it.
Yep.
So I had to run back, and I was like, oh, shoot, I forget exactly
It seems
what
like
that
it's
power
smaller
does.
than it should be at first until you realize what else was in that
It's
power.
massive. So then if you go back to the original, there's a whole nother line of this power.
Yep.
Additionally, characters cannot modify their attack dice when targeting this character with attacks. That's gone. Gone.
This was one of the things that made him just an absolute juggernaut, where you
With
kind of
10
couldn't
stamina,
do stuff against it. Where
You
he
can't
could,
reroll against him.
right. As someone that has played a lot of X-Force, specifically into Malekith, and that's a huge deal. That's
for
a massive
real.
deal, specifically for Cable and for me, playing the Power Bottom 10 and X-Force. In addition to a lot of the other affiliations that I really like, Shadowlands Daredevil, Wakanda,
Oops, all rerolls.
Oops, all
Not
rapid fire
affiliation,
and
but
rerolls.
one of your
Yeah.
favorite things.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that was a huge, huge defensive ability that
Mhm.
was often seen as too much of a crutch.
Yes.
That
Yep.
it was too much auto mode.
Too much to overcome.
Yeah.
That there should have been kind of clear counters there, some clear responses, and the kind of one of the bigger ones is now back on the table. You can in fact reroll against it.
Yeah, and it was just that in addition to his already crazy 10 stamina, that it was just so much to get through.
I did see
So-
some comments on some of the posts, and this is something I just kind of really want to point out. Before you get upset in general and respond to an AMG post or in one of the group chats or in one of the Facebook groups or in Discord, make sure that there's context there for your complaint. I saw multiple comments saying, he doesn't gain 2 additional power now during the power phase, it's only 1. That part did not change.
Right? Just read, before you comment, read the old card so you know what you're talking
Yes.
about.
Yep.
So at least you're not throwing out nonsense.
Mhm.
Because, like, no, he never gained 2 power. That's not, that part didn't change. I like how they say this, just replace it with this. So it's the whole rule now, not
Correct.
just remove the second line or something like that. Is not as clear.
Chewie, yeah, you and Ben both suffered to that particular thing. I suffered to it as well. 100% spot on as far as not being able to do rerolls against him. But this is such a welcome change. I know very specific people in the community that are probably, this is something they've been waiting for, and they did it.
And it was just so out of nowhere. I had no premonition of this, no anticipation for this. It was like, oh, FAQ. What?
I think this is a good time to do it, right? Where you're making some changes. It's not like some random, like, oh, this just changed now because we're reactive. This is obviously something that's been thought about, has been play tested thoroughly, and I think, at the absolute worst, makes Malekith a push 6. At best, spot on. So, like, I don't think that, one of the things that they do very well with is making sure that there's a kind of an encapsulated power scale here where characters exist in a very small range, and I think this puts Malekith very much in that small range. The other thing that they changed here was they increased the power cost of ferocity by 1.
Yeah, which doesn't
Also
seem like a lot at face value.
It is a tweak that is precise and technical and impactful. They shouldn't be changing 9 things on this card. It's like, well, what if we drop, Butcher of Thor's down and we do this and we take off the throw here? No, this was precise, well thought out, and it had enough time to breathe before the change happened. I'm so overtly happy with this particular update to this character.
I like this one a lot because of the Conqueror of the Ten Realms. He gets that additional power. He was able to guarantee ferocity every single turn.
Yep.
Which, I think ferocity is an important power for him to have at 7 threat. His action economy is important.
Yeah.
He needs that to not be wasted.
Correct.
2 power was it was too auto, where it was just being able to charge on the first turn is rough.
It's a lot. Yep.
It can be a feel bad moment for the opponent, where it's like, because he has a huge threat range with medium movement and a large base and charge, is just like woof.
So there's a couple people in chat just asking where these changes were posted, and it was somewhat easy to miss. But it is in the facts and
the FAQ and errata.
To the game. So I've posted that link in the chat.
Nice.
I'll also make sure that it is in the show notes as well. So if you want to be able to see this for yourself and be able to, have that link so that when other updates are made to this game that you know exactly where it is, perfect. That said, Brian brings up a great point in chat. This is, in fact, just in time for the Everwinter event.
Yeah.
We will be streaming next weekend. Guess what? We will still have an episode of Wait Did I Roll a Wild next Thursday. But the following day, there's going to be a lot of streaming happening, okay?
We're going to be on Twitch a lot over those few days.
So next week, Monday, your good old-fashioned, your stable, your loving, oh yeah, the power phase will be Monday.
From a new location.
As
long as the internet's working.
Assuming the internet's working. I did take most of the things that we used to stream out of that store before it moved stores, just in case it got lost in a bunch of other boxes and piles.
There's a lot of stuff moving.
So after the power phase last Monday night, Dan just took off on me, just like a Moon Knight out of heck, and
I did.
I moved over a lot of boxes.
Oh, that's good of you.
A lot of boxes. Thankfully, there's an elevator at the new location.
There is?
Yes.
Oh.
So we were able to move shelves and boxes and Warhammer stuff and MCP stuff and board games and just... So we've talked about this before. This is a very niche moment. This is more cleanup phase material. But Brian Watson has an incredible collapsible cart.
Yeah.
The Dragon had 2 of them, and we were using those to bring over all sorts of product from the old location to the new location, and then up an elevator, and then into the location, and then stocking it in a separate area.
Because it's like a 30-second walk to the new location.
Right.
It's right there.
Which is it's like it didn't even make sense to like load it in a car or whatever. It's like, well, let's just put it in these and we'll wheel them over. But the new Bearded Dragon games looks incredible. Great view, significantly bigger space, more tables. We're going to start running events there regularly. So I'm super pumped to have that space. If you guys, if anyone did come to our What If event that we ran at the now old Bearded Dragon, it was a very condensed space. We have so much more room now. We're going to be able to do some awesome stuff. So we're very excited for that.
Can't wait. I love the big windows out front, and we're kind of on the second story. My son Felix and I were there the other night, and Danny came to meet up with us to take Felix home while I was still hanging out. And she said it was just kind of nice to just drive by and be like, oh, there they are, playing games, being nerds.
Right. So we're super stoked for that. What were we talking about?
Everwinter.
There's
sorry.
Just so much stuff, man.
There's a lot. There's a lot this week.
Blob and Pyro are also coming out. Joe, dude, good to see you, man. I play a little bit of Call of Duty with Joe.
What does that say?
Don't worry about it. But Joe, by all means, head over to Joe Foxer 52 and give him a follow as well. But so at Everwinter next weekend. You'll be there, I'll be there, Taylor will be there. I think the majority of us are going to be there. If you've seen a face on here before, it's going to be there. Is Brian Watson going to be there? Short answer, yes. Yeah. He's going to be running the events. Is Dylan Dyer going to pop on for a second? Dr. D had a new article today, in fact, about painting greens. A great article about he did an article about painting Mysterio and really getting the most out of some of those not awkward colors, but those like off standard colors, right? That like
Okay.
are really impactful. Make them bright, make them vibrant, but don't make them like hokey, right? Or like out of place or like awkward to the eye. Did a very good job on that. Make sure to check that out, professionalcasual.com for that blog. But all of these changes are going to happen for Everwinter. Blob and Pyro will also be out for Everwinter. There might be a rush. We saw Devil Pup
Yeah.
was able to get, paint, and assemble Black Swan
Yeah.
in time on day of release for the Atlantic City Open.
That was pretty awesome. The first time we got to see her.
Right?
I haven't picked mine up from the store yet, and you have on the table. It's
Right?
awesome.
So we might be able to see some Blob and Pyros at
I hope
Everwinter, which would just be so cool, especially with the Malekith change. I will say Magneto kind of getting a little bit of a buff from not buff, but like a little bit of
Second wind.
Yeah.
New life.
Correct. New life from Malekith being, just having to touch Earth every once in a while. But very excited to see how that plays out, how the Brotherhood kind of performs as a whole during that weekend. And dude, I just want to see Blob and Pyro on the table on stream.
I just want a blob model in my hand. I want to see just how big he is, because I mean, you can see it in the images, but you don't really know until you get him in your hand. I think it's going to be like, whoa, he's a big boy. Also, real quick, other update: they confirmed obviously Pyro and Blob being on Brotherhood. Also, Sabretooth Apex Predator.
Yes.
Not super surprising, but
we weren't sure
bit,
if those
a little
older
bit.
school characters, if Logan and if Sabretooth were only going to be on X-Force, or whether they were going to be future forward as well and being on those other affiliations. I think that this was the right way to go and not lock them into the, just the Weapon X program, but I'm very happy with it.
For real.
As far as Everwinter goes, just before we move on really quick, if you are going to Everwinter, just know that if you are a follower here on the Twitch, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, please make sure you let us know you're going to Everwinter. We have about 55 raffle tickets to dispense to people going to Everwinter. I need to know that you are going so I can enter you into that drawing. It is only for people that are part of the Professional Casual Network viewership, I guess, as a whole. So this isn't everyone that's going. This is not everyone that's going to be at the MCP thing. These are just for you guys. Ben, I know you're going. Otis, I know you're going as well. So if you are headed to Everwinter next weekend, wickeddicey.com, or maybe you weren't headed there yet, but now you are, hit us up on any one of our socials. Instagram, The Professional Casual, Twitter, Top Tier Casual, Facebook.com/Professional Casual. It's all there. Let me know you're going. I'll enter you into that drawing. And when you show up, we'll be doing kind of a little ceremony of sorts. And you will be entered into that drawing. And it's considerable. It's like a lot. It's a lot of additional entries.
Yeah, I want some of those tickets.
Just an absolutely massive prize wall.
That's super exciting. I can't wait to see that, just to be like, yes.
But, so we went over Malekith.
Mm-hmm.
We went over Sabretooth being where he is. We went over Logan being where they are.
The last one we have there for those updates is the Weapon X affiliation we got in full.
Yes!
So no crazy surprises.
No, yep.
So we have Deadpool, Domino.
Mhm.
That one's I'm a little surprised. Honey Badger, Logan, the Wolverine, Sabretooth Apex Predator, and X-23.
Did we see the new Wolverine or Sabretooth on X-Force?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're not. So maybe that's... we can double check real quick, but I don't remember seeing any blue there. They are not.
No updates to that.
So there's a slight difference there. Obviously, no Cable, no Wolverine Colossus on Weapon X. Instead, you've got Logan the Wolverine and Sabretooth Apex Predator. And they have their whole unique leadership thing.
So this is huge for me as an X-Force player. Being able to effectively double the amount of things that I could potentially be running as far as affiliations off of the same group of people, or, somewhat most of the same group. is awesome. Is just huge for me. So I'm, as far as building a roster of 10 that can run Weapon X, X-Force, and maybe an Uncanny X-Men.
Right, because you just take all of X-Force, throw them in Logan the Wolverine, and Sabretooth Apex Predator. That's your 10.
Yep.
And you could definitely run.
You could definitely throw in
X-Men.
Storm or Cyclops into that to be able to run some Uncanny X-Men as well.
You have to switch somebody out.
As far, well, I mean, there's not 10 X-Force characters.
Isn't there 8 though? Didn't I just count that right?
Yeah, there's 8.
There, so then you add Logan and Apex Sabretooth. That's
Right.
10.
Oh, fair.
Fair.
Yeah, if you wanted to run literally the entire affiliation, yes, accurate. But that works for me in a huge way. I'm super stoked for it. I really like that is there as an option for those players. It really kind of gives a little bit more of a dearth to characters like Domino and Cable to be able to, maybe they aren't the spot for you right now. Maybe it is something else without being forced to kind of run a really separate entire detachment as an affiliation.
Yeah, because X-Force has some really nice tactics cards.
Dude,
But you
Cat
don't want
and
to have
Mouse
to
is
run
like...
Cable every time, so you can take a little break from him and run at Weapon X instead with the same roster. Like, I love it.
And I will say, like, running Cable without Cat and Mouse, very viable. And, like, it isn't... He doesn't have to be an X-Force running Cat and Mouse to make him good.
But man, does he love it.
Oh, does he love it. Especially...
man.
Oh, nuts.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, he's just... I really like Cable. I think he's underrated. I think he should get a little bit more just appreciation for what he can do. Listen, I roll bad, and I really like him. You know what I mean?
And we have seen on tactics cards, we saw Maverick and Lady Deathstrike.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see that as a box in the future. That 2 more very possible members of Weapon X.
Yeah.
Because a Maverick could go into X-Force as well,
Yeah.
but I'd love to see Maverick. He's just he's so 90s. He's so great.
One last thing I wanted to mention again before I completely forget about Everwinter. Brian Watson, he's going to be the TO, right?
Right.
Has been putting together an entire Zombie Brotherhood roster.
Oh, yeah.
He showed off the Rogue and the something else on stream a couple weeks ago. Oh yeah, I think it was Mystique.
I think so.
But yeah, so one of the prizes for that particular event here in not here in downtown Boston, but in downtown Boston.
Over there in downtown
next
Boston.
week. Yeah, up or over there. I
That
always
way.
say up. I assume every place is either up or east. I don't know why.
I think it's a little north of us.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but...
All right, so I probably don't say that. I probably say down in Boston then.
Because it is.
Because it is, yeah.
I think it's slightly north.
Okay. All right.
So up in Boston is fine.
But
Nobody else knows exactly where Oneana is anyway, so.
correct. Onomatopoeia, as Dylan Dyer calls it.
That's I haven't heard that yet. That's so good.
It was on this show, actually. We were talking about... I think we were talking about Logan, because he was on the episodes where we did both
Both
Logan
of
the
those. I
Wolverine.
didn't get to be on either of those. One was after my surgery, and I forget what the other one was, but
Apex
I missed them.
Predator. And we were talking about, I think, the onomatopoeia of like the claws coming out or whatever. And he's like, yeah, no one knows where you live. Onomatopoeia, New York or whatever. And I was just like, wow, that is so good.
That's so good.
That was such a great joke.
Oh, Dr. D, thank you for that.
He was in town, I think, the week before last. We went out to Buffalo Wild Wings. We didn't have time to do much of anything outside. Just, go and eat some boneless barbecue wing pizza. But I brought up, I was like, dude, I was like,
Chicken nugget pizza.
I've thought about that joke since you said it. And it's still really good. I still really appreciate it. I think it's good. I think it's a good joke. But yeah, they had Long Island iced tea is made with a like exclusive Mountain Dew.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Can we go do that now?
Right now? We got the cleanup phase after this.
Oh, right, we got the cleanup phase.
But-
Never mind. I'll sacrifice it for the cleanup phase. We'll do
What
it
a-
another time.
What a guy.
Maybe.
What a guy.
Maybe tomorrow night.
Actually, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's Mountain Dew Legendary is the Mountain Dew exclusive flavor at Buffalo Wild Wings. And
Mountain Dew is absolutely like weak spot of mine.
I almost picked you up another one today, but it wasn't like a 0 version, but it was like a different like flavor, and I was like, should I? I didn't feel.
You don't need to, but it's appreciated.
Even if it's full calorie. See,
it's every couple of
that
weeks,
shrug. It's that shrug that makes me like, well, maybe I shouldn't.
It's one of the every couple of weeks. It's fine.
Yeah, I just I need a real commitment from Sparkle Motion sometimes, and sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion. So,
I might be reliable, but I don't always commit.
Valid.
It's kind of contradictory, but I think you know what I mean.
Order it and drink it during the cleanup phase. Axel, I love you.
If only places delivered where
DoorDash it.
Yeah, for $30 more.
Yeah, fair.
Whatever it is for their delivery charges.
Right. I don't know if you've heard of this Mountain Dew or not, but it's legendary.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned that. But
I got paid last week. Whatever.
I do what I want. All right. So let's talk about the big rhino in the room, right?
Right. The episode title. Wait, did I roll a rhino?
Yeah. Oh, great job, by the way. We got to speculate on this bad boy before the card comes out tomorrow. So
Always. I'm super pumped for this. I have big thoughts on this one.
All right. Can I make a couple predictions?
That's all we're doing right now.
I bet you're locked in at a 4.
No. Wrong.
Wow. More like wrong, no. What are you going, 3?
I hope
you're not going 5.
I hope he's a 5.
Whoa.
I want him Juggernaut level.
Whoa.
I want Spider-Foes to have a big nasty boy.
They're only big nasty boys.
None of them are 5 threat. They're all 4 and 3.
Inventory is complete, and you are right.
So he was confirmed on stream to be Spider-Foes and Criminal Syndicate, which is nice. I like that they said that already.
Yeah.
I really like him in Criminal Syndicate. They also don't have a 5.
That also makes me feel...
No, MODOK is.
Yep. That also makes me feel like he might be sooner to release than not.
They said
if
early.
they're giving that information. They say early, right? But when I hear early from a company, I'm like, oh, that means Q1 or 2.
With a lot of companies, but with them, I feel like they changed their policy a little over a year ago-ish. They only show stuff coming out in the next few months at most.
All right,
all Spider-Foes are 3 or 4. It's wild.
He could be a 2 then.
I saw people joking about that. It's like, no, but he's got to have a ton of health. I think he's going to be a 4. Yeah. I want him to be a 5 with like 8 health like Juggernaut. I want him to be not just Spider-Foes Juggernaut, but pretty similar. I want him to have a better charge.
Is there anyone that would make the argument, though, and maybe you are, and maybe I could be wrong here, but is there anyone that would make the argument that Juggernaut and Rhino are at the same level?
Canonically, I don't think so. Juggernaut or Rhino is a lot stronger and tougher than he gets credit for.
Yeah.
Like, he can go toe-to-toe with the Thing, which I know you don't put a lot of stock in.
I don't.
But
literally 0.
I'm
like, yeah, so could... Brian Watson.
You almost said Bullseye, didn't you?
I did.
No, that's not fair because Bullseye can just get like something in the eye hole.
Yeah.
But like,
I agree.
Brian
Bullseye
Watson probably
better than
could
Rhino.
too. So I know Rhino and Juggernaut have faced off in the comics before, but Rhino is like pretty top tier strength and durability dude.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of it is that suit. He's had a lot of different things throughout the years where he's gotten like actual powers and whatnot. So I'd like to see him as a 5 threat, but not just a copy of Juggernaut. I don't want like smashing through everything like Juggernaut does. I just want him to have a really good charge attack. He's on a large base, same as Juggernaut. Give him small move, but when he charges, give it medium movement.
Oh.
And maybe like he gains an attack. He gains a die on his attacks. So have it cost like 4 powers. He's not doing it all the time because he's got to like ramp up to a little bit. He's got to shuffle his hoof foot on the floor a bit first, kind of like a bull.
I don't hate that, actually. I actually like that quite a bit. So that's why he's a 4 threat, though, because he's like the Juggernaut ability, right? But it's only when he charges instead of whenever he moves.
Right. Which
I actually think is right in line. I think that's literally perfect. as a 4 threat, having something that is similar to something that's stronger than it, but just slightly tweaked to make it viable for a 4, I think is actually very legitimate.
I mostly want him for a 5 just for like diversity in building lists.
Yeah.
To have something a little bit different and have him really be the powerhouse of the affiliation.
I mean, maybe when you're a part of the syndicate, you have to have a membership card that says, well, I'm 3 or 4 threat. Could be.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
I would be surprised if he's not a 4.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he was less than 4.
I think a 3 is viable.
I think they could do a 3. He'd be the first 3 on a large base, as far as I can think.
Mysterio?
Mysterio's on a small base.
Oh, is he? Maybe he's just a short mover.
What?
Mysterio's a short mover.
That's true.
Yeah. I thought he was on a bigger base.
He kind of almost
He's not
should
on a
be.
small base. He's on a medium base, right?
Mysterio's on a small base.
Are you sure?
100%. I painted
100%?
models. I know what size base they're on.
Wow! Wow!
Punchy!
I have instructed people to paint models for years at this point. Mysterio is definitely
Why are you
not
looking
on
at
a
his
small
card?
base. I don't
It doesn't
know.
tell you what size it is on the card. There is a file for that, though. Their base size
Do
thing.
you know what I will go to? It's professionalcasual.com, and I'm going to check out
Why?
Dylan's new blog about painting green.
Bunch of pictures of Mysterio on the new blog post that
Uh-huh.
went up today.
That's true. Look at that.
Look
That's
at that
definitely...
little base. It's quite small.
Huh. Yeah, you're right.
He almost needs a medium base because he does like take up the whole base with his smoky stuff and whatnot.
So I'm just going to go ahead and apologize right now for one of the recent blogs that we put on professionalcasual.com written by Dylan Dyer. Mysterio should obviously be on a medium base. Dylan painted him on a small base. Maybe that was just like to get a better grip on it. But that's obviously what it was for.
Nice.
But
one other thing I want to say that's been confirmed with Rhino. A lot of people don't realize his box is up on the Asmodee shop page as well, and it's confirmed he is by himself in the box. It's a one-man box.
with 3 tactics cards.
Yeah, that's a little surprising. I feel like
That I wasn't
single models
surprised
usually get
with.
like 2.
Are you sure? Didn't Venom and Juggernaut both come with 3?
I don't know, maybe.
And MODOK?
I definitely don't remember what MODOK came with.
And Kingpin? I'm trying to think of other...
Star-Lord. I don't really know. I just felt like he's a pretty basic character in like what he can do, right?
All right, Chuck.
His
Settle
superpower.
down.
He's
Settle
strong
down.
and he's tough. That's it.
And he charges.
Which is part of his strength and durability, because he can crash through a lot of things. Not as much as the Juggernaut, but a lot of things.
All right.
So I'm just surprised that there's that much to do with him. But there could be other. They don't have to all be Rhino cards. Obviously, they could be other Criminal Syndicate or Spider-Foe cards. Which, as we know, one Tactics card could totally change how an affiliation plays.
100%.
Which
Absolutely.
I'm excited to get 3 cards. I imagine one is Rhino unaffiliated, one is Spider-Foes, one is Criminal Syndicate. Would be like perfect world.
I'm going to go a different route.
Whoa!
2 are unaffiliated.
Both for Rhino or?
Both for Rhino.
Okay.
Well, no, actually. 1 for Rhino. 1 for Rhino and somebody else.
Like together?
Yep. Like a tag team. Similar to that will be, like a buddy up card, right? Similar to what we'll be talking about tonight on the cleanup phase, where we go through our first kind of Elite 8 showdown bracket
I'm
of
super
tag
excited
team
for that.
cards. I think there will be a tag team card there, similar to Blob and Toad, something along those lines.
It's a card where he can grab Lizard by the tail and just throw him. And then Lizard does a collision but takes no damage because he let go and his tail came off.
So I'm going to call this right now. This is my big chuck. Caw! Of the game.
We need to
I
get that
do
back on the
think
mixer.
for real. I do think Rhino will either have a tactics card or an ability that prevents him taking damage from collision with terrain specifically, not other characters.
Just throw stuff at him, he doesn't care. I like that a lot.
Or he can
actually.
spend for it. Maybe a reactive where he,
So instead of
just
straight
gives him the
damage
old-
reduction, he's just immune to damage from collisions. That might be too strong.
collision with terrain. I
For
think
1
it
power.
will be specific. So I think, if it's a reactive, it'll cost probably 1 or 2 power, and he can ignore collisions with terrain.
I like that idea a lot because
Or a passive where he's, simple, very similar to Kingpin, where he just does not take collision damage from terrain. I don't think it'll be enemy
I
characters.
forgot Kingpin has that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, 'cause if you
but
throw someone
Kingpin
else
has
in
it
one-
with characters, not terrain.
I like
you
that.
can throw dumpsters at Kingpin.
I really like that it's the same but opposite sort of thing.
That's why I don't know. I feel it might be valid.
Is he becoming too much like Kingpin then?
No, I think he's opposite side of the same coin. Kingpin is brawn and strength with thought. Rhino is all of those things without ever thinking of it.
For real.
If you're playing a video game against Rhino, guess what the goal is? Have him charge at you into something that hurts him every single time.
I don't know. That kind of is against your thought of not getting hurt by terrain then. Because it's like, yeah, Spider-Man games, you don't attack Rhino directly because he will pummel you into the dirt.
Right.
So you have him crash into something tougher than him.
Mm-hmm. What's tougher than him as far as terrain goes? Nothing.
So how do you ever win those fights in those games?
Well, obviously, all the stuff that you have him slam into is our indestructible, uninteractable terrain. That is our scoreboard.
Oh no, not the scoreboard. That thing. I feel like while saying he's a pretty basic character, I think there's a lot of potential.
Stop saying that. I don't think he's gonna be. You
I
want
think
him to be
there's
a
a
5?
lot
He's not gonna be a basic character, Dan.
You can have a basic 5.
No.
Why not?
Name one basic 5.
Well, I said you could have a basic
Nope,
5.
you can't.
He could be a 5 threat based on the strength of his attacks and his stamina practically alone.
Okay.
Give him a ton of stamina
Yeah.
and high strength attacks
And then like a invulnerability maybe.
and a charge.
And
That's
the pain.
and maybe a throw.
Yeah.
Or a throw on his spender or attack
I
his
don't know
card
if
like
I've ever
Juggernaut
seen Rhino
has.
throw anything except himself at people, mostly Spider-Man.
So instead of a charge, he's got like glider ram or pounce where he just throws himself and does a collision. I'll actually like that a lot better because then it's automatic damage.
Charge pounce?
He's a size 4. Well, he's got to be a size 4, right? So it's just 5 damage.
He's not gonna be. He could be a size 3.
He's on a large base.
You're
and
on a
he's
large
huge.
base. You're adequate.
He's gonna be a 4 size.
You think he's gonna be a 4 size?
Why not?
I think that's malarkey.
What? Why? You crazy, sir?
No.
He's
No
clearly
way
on a
he's
large
size
base
4.
because he hit that pattern is only on large size bases.
Nope.
What?
What about Mysterio? He's on a large base.
Is this gonna be your new shtick? Because you made a joke about Mysterio's base size.
Ghost Rider's on a 3 and a large base. Thank you, Ravensguard, for thinking that for me.
What? Ghost Rider's a 5 threat.
He's not size 4 though. He's size 3 on a large base.
Yeah. Size 3. Yeah, because he's I'm not saying just because he's on. I'm saying look at how big he is compared to that large base. He's the size of Juggernaut, maybe a
Okay.
little bit smaller.
I think I think they stay so true to the comics here that he's going to be just slightly smaller.
So it'll be size 3 instead of 4.
Yeah. Axel, get out of here with that Thor stuff. You're right, but like, don't bring up good points when it's against my argument.
Thor is pretty basic for a 5.
So
That's a
Axel
good
said
call.
to answer the question, name a basic 5. The answer is Thor.
Thank
All right,
you, Axel. I'm glad we have viewers that help me think of things that I didn't.
valid. But
I'm just saying he could be 5
Mm-hmm.
because of the potential for the strength of his attacks and his
Yes.
stamina.
Yep.
A few other cool powers, of course.
is his spender awesome or inexpensive and just slightly more damage?
I think it'll have a throw because he like that moving picture that was shared in the Discord where he slams Spider-Man and he hits a garage door and
it just
explodes. It's like, where is that explosion coming from?
It's edited, but still very funny.
It's so good though. Taylor's answer was the best. He's just the rest of the force of Rhino's charge
Yeah.
is the explosion. It's so good. So
Someone said it was Spider-Man's camera, which I really
yeah, I think
appreciated.
was that Devil Pup? That
I
was so
think
good.
so. Also, Devil Pup in the Discord today being like, this character's definitely going to work this way. And then someone corrects him. He's like, just like I said.
That was so good.
That was really
I think it was
good.
about Rhino because I think it was Thoris was like, actually, here's...
Oh, it definitely is going to come with Shocker.
That's what
like,
it was, yeah. And then
so-
Thoris is like, actually, here's the link to the shop, and he's by himself. And that's absolutely what I just said.
like I said, he's alone in the box.
So good.
It was very funny.
Such a good response. No, Rhino's interesting because I don't know. I'm super excited for this one.
Yeah.
because like, how are they going to make him different from Juggernaut? How are they going to make him different from Ursa Major? How are they going to make him different from Colossus? Like, there are a lot of those like big beefy dudes.
And they've been on a roll recently,
And they
right?
do it every time. They do it
Right.
so well.
They do it.
I'm excited to see how they do it because I know they're gonna. He's not gonna just be Gray Ursa Major.
We thought the same thing with Blop, right? And then they added a lot there between his spender, between the bounce back, and when you attack him and he can spend to like belly bounce you back a little
So
bit.
good.
I think they're going to do very well here. I do think it will be based around a charge, but it also could be maybe they'll come out of left field with something. Maybe it'll be both his attack and his spender have charges attached.
Maybe.
Maybe
His spender could be like move him medium first, then make this attack. It might not be a superpower.
Maybe he gets a Moon Knight style like identity ability, where at the beginning of the turn you roll a die, and on a hit, a wild, and a crit, you get a small move, and on a blank, a skull, and a block, you also move.
Wow. Poignant.
Or you remove stun and stagger.
Right?
You know what I mean? They could go a lot of different ways
I
with
could
this.
also seem immune to stun because of the suit.
Same. Yep.
So another reason I'm really excited for him is I love the big, tanky, hard-hitting characters, which I love to do in Criminal Syndicate.
Yep.
Throw in like Omega Red 2 just for another big, slow, tanky boy.
Yep.
So I like that. Also, my all-animal list.
He's not an animal. He's a man in a suit, Dan.
It's close enough.
Oh, is it?
He's called Rhino. He looks like a rhino except the dude face.
Okay.
If Grizzly came out, I would count him too.
All
Until we get enough
right.
that we can. So we got Rocket
Guys,
Raccoon.
this is canon. This is canon. Dan is saying a man that is called an animal name and an animal suit counts as an animal. Vulture, on lock, animal person. What's the difference between him and Rhino? Nothing.
Okay, so right now we have Rocket Raccoon, Ursa Major. He's a bear.
Yeah. Both
Lizard.
Solid starts here with those first three.
Lockjaw. He's a dog.
He's a human.
He's just straight up dog.
Nope, he's a human.
He's an inhuman doggo.
He's a human whose inhuman form is a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a human.
So
he has a name. He had a
that's
life.
4.
He had a family,
We're at,
Dan.
What? 3, 5, 8. Who was the other one I said?
What? Are you counting threat?
Their threat.
Okay.
What do we have for a squad?
I don't
Who's the
know.
last one? Oh, Ursa Major. What did I say? 8. So we're at 12.
Okay.
If we count Rhino,
Yeah.
we can make an actual squad of like the Pet Avengers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rhino to me is close enough for now until we get someone else that can fill that role better.
All right. So I'm gonna argue a couple points here.
Okay.
Toad.
Well, he's just a dude with a long tongue.
Is he? He can also jump.
He also
really
doesn't
fast.
even wear a frog suit.
I agree.
He doesn't say ribbit and rip it. So great. I love that episode so much.
All right.
What was that? Leapfrog? Was that his name?
Ursa Major, the Lizard, and Rocket Raccoon don't wear animal costumes.
Right, because they already are just an animal, same as Lockjaw. That's why they fit.
No, Lockjaw's
That's why I
not
said
an animal.
Rhino's close enough for now.
All right. So you would count Scorpion as one of the animal friends.
I mean, he doesn't wear it like he doesn't even have pincers like a scorpion.
You
No, he
would
doesn't
count Killmonger.
What? No, he's just a dude.
He's a man dressed as a monger that kills. Dan, he's in a Killmonger costume.
You don't get the point of it at all.
Wow. All right. What about MODOK?
What?
He's a mechanism, right? Not a person in an animal costume, but he's, designated.
That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us.
I'm going through my roster and like MODOK just came to the top. I know he was not a valid argument there, but I feel like there's other ones that I could bring up. Maybe Wolverine. His name is an animal. He's not in an animal costume. Animal powers.
So I said Rhino is close enough for now to field an actual squad of them.
I think you need to make a real strong commitment here. Rocket Raccoon, the Lizard, and Lockjaw. I am barely.
Lockjaw and Ursa Major. So we're at
4.
12 points.
Yeah.
I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So I just gotta wait till another just animal person comes out. Fine. Whatever.
13 points. Is that what you said?
I don't know.
2, 3, 4, 4.
No, 2, 3, 3, 4.
2, 3, 3, 4. All right. Yeah, that's 12.
You're just kidding.
I don't.
You could maybe make a case for Beast. Maybe.
Oh yeah. I think that's
Maybe. That puts you at 15.
all right. I'm a lawyer you real hard here for a second.
Oh no.
What would
I just want to make a fun squad. Why do you gotta lawyer me about it?
What would qualify Beast?
Huh?
What would qualify Beast as being potentially included in this?
I said maybe because.
Why maybe though? This is important.
Okay, so he still like is humanoid, so that makes me not like it as much.
He's like a human that got turned into something else, right?
No, he was always a mutant. He was never a human. To be fair,
are Inhumans not Inhumans before they've gone through Terrigenesis? Like a mutant not being a mutant before going through their mutation? Is that what you're saying, Daniel?
What? Lockjaw counts because he's a big dog. That's all it is.
He's a big dog now.
I didn't say he's Canis familiaris. I didn't say he is it's the dog species, but he's a dog model on the base. He counts for the animal list. Just let me do my Pet Avengers.
Beast is a beast model on a beast base. But he was a human before he went through a transformation that made him into something more animalistic.
Who?
Beast.
He
Or
was
Lockjaw.
never a human.
Literally the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's the same situation.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I don't remember enough about how Inhumans work.
They're humans. They're always Inhumans
I thought
as
they
well.
were always Inhumans. Like they're not human, they're inhuman,
You
right?
just said it. You just said it. Yes. I got you.
I never said they couldn't be inhuman.
You said that when Lockjaw was a human, he wasn't an inhuman. I said he was an inhuman, and then he turned into a dog. He was an inhuman the entire time. You said no.
What? I just said he counts because he's a dog.
He's not a dog.
He's an inhuman that looks like a dog. How about that?
I will take that. That is
So that's why he fits
that is
in
a very
on-
clear distinction. Guys, just write this down. Dan said, canon, Lockjaw is an inhuman that now looks like a dog. It's important, man.
Man, Alex has a good point that Malekith comes with a huge tiger. Just take Malekith off the base for this particular squad, and he's a tiger. You're good to go.
I'm just saying, if you include Lockjaw, you have to include Beast.
What?
That's it.
I mean, I said Beast is like
They both
on
were
the cusp.
They both were human-looking, and then underwent a transformation based on their genealogy that transformed them into something that was significantly more bestial. Right?
Yeah. Because I did discuss this a little bit with people on Facebook, because they were like, "What about Falcon?" And I was like, "No, he's just a dude that wears wings."
Yeah, I think that's valid.
Because they were like, "Wait, are you going with the name or like the actual thing?" And it's like a combination of the two, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else suggested Black Panther.
No.
And I was like,
Doesn't work.
no, because he's just a dude wearing a panther suit.
Right.
And they're like, okay, I think I get what you mean now.
Yeah.
So, is it an animal person?
Brian, don't ruin my next argument. But if I can prove that Beast and Lockjaw are on the same level, I can get Toad in that bad boy. No problem.
You know what the good news here is?
Uh-huh.
That is my squad I want to run, so I can put whoever I want on it. And not Toad.
Listen, Dan.
He's just a dude with a long tongue. Doesn't even look like a frog.
He also jumps. He also has frog quadrupeds.
Does he look like a frog?
Yes. You're right. He doesn't. You're right. He doesn't look like a frog. He looks like a toad.
If it was amphibious from the mutates in the Savage Land, yes.
Are toads amphibious, Dan?
No, the guy's name is Amphibious.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. In Strange's in Sinister's group
Savage
there.
Land.
Yeah, one of the mutates. Fair.
He would absolutely count because he's just a frog mutate. Sauron, who I'd love to see, I always forget, but should be at the top.
I don't want to cure cancer. I just want to turn people into dinosaurs.
He would count because he's just a pterodon person.
What was he before he was a pterodon person, Dan?
It doesn't matter what they were before.
Oh,
his model will
doesn't?
be him as Sauron, not as Carl Lycos.
So once again, a human that went through a mutation and then turned into something more animalistic, he counts 100% of the time, but you're unsure about Beast?
Yes. Beast, if Beast was in one of his more animal states,
but
he look like a big cat or look like a big gorilla.
For those of you not watching the video and only watching the podcast, I have crossed both of my arms and
he's
picked
pouting.
them up and I have put them down very quickly.
I don't know why you're pouting about this. I just want to make a fun
pouting.
squad.
I'm not making a pouty face.
It's like my all blue squad. It's just silly. Stop it.
No!
This is the most ridiculous segment we've ever had on this show.
It's not, though. There's very clear rules.
There's not.
You've made very clear rules.
I can do whatever I want. It's my squad.
Not on this network, you can't.
Well, like Dr. Octopus almost counts, not quite.
What? How could Dr. Octopus even be in your consideration for counting, and you're unsure if Rhino or the Scorpion or Beast would count?
I was fine with the Rhino being on there. You're the one that said we can't do that because he's just a guy in a rhino suit.
He is just a guy in a rhino suit.
Which is true, but he's almost 100% Rhino. It's just his face.
Axel says he feels like we've lost sight of whatever the point was when this bit started, and
He is absolutely correct.
that's not wrong.
The point is, I want to make an all-animal squad, and Rhino was as close as I could get to finishing it a legal squad.
Rhino is all animal. That is the statement that you've just made.
I mean, yeah, humans are animals, so I guess anybody could be in it as long as they're a living thing or whatever.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Vision. Sorry, bro, but Dan hates you.
Or Ultron, or Sentinels.
Or
They're
Winter
not
Soldier.
animals. Winter Soldier's mostly human.
Oh, that's weird. So now mostly human counts. Because before you said only all human counts.
I definitely did not.
Oh, so the Inhumans also don't count. Oh, and you've also discussed that mutants are also not humans. So
They're
they
still
don't count
animals.
either.
Who's the biology teacher?
Chuck.
False. He teaches cooking.
Yeah, and what is cooking required for? Biology to exist.
True.
Listen. You can call me Mr. Fantastic, because all my arguments are stretches.
That was a great self-burn.
What else were we supposed to talk about on this episode?
I think we actually got through all the news
we
and
really?
stuff for the week. I don't know. I lost
right.
track. Lockjaw's not an animal.
He's not. He's an Inhuman. He was a dude, and now he's, just a different looking dude.
Fenris would be great.
Fenris would be great.
The giant wolf on a large base?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would absolutely count.
You could even have Tyr's hand still in his mouth.
I'm going to mess with your mind here.
Okay?
I would count Spider-Ham.
I would
He's a
too.
pig.
Yeah, I would too. He's a pig. Pig
Howard the
primarily.
Duck? He would count.
Yeah.
Cosmo?
Cosmo would count.
Cosmo the dog. I want him. I haven't seen the Guardians holiday special yet, but I've heard it's really good.
Very delightful.
I really want to watch it.
It is. If you haven't checked it out yet, if you want to, microwave, don't make hot cocoa on the stove. Just who has the time for that? Just microwave some water, add in some Swiss Miss powder, get some hot cocoa, sit down with your family, with your friends, with a loved one, with me on Discord. I don't care. Let's watch it. It's a good time.
I do want to watch
It's got
it.
Kevin Bacon, which apparently, according to Dan's rules, counts as part of the animal squad.
Well, yeah, he's bacon. He was an animal. Now he's, delicious meat.
Right? So, there you go. Guys, this has been Elite 8 Showdown. I really appreciate it.
That's what it feels like with a stupid argument for half an hour, whatever it's been. I blanked out.
Oh, boom! Brian got him! So I have a tooth filling. Am I no longer human now, Dan? Huh?
I never said anything like that.
You did, though! When you were like, oh, well, Winter Soldier's mostly human, that means Brian is also mostly human and not all human.
That's true.
There he goes, just dehumanizing people on a regular basis,
I've got
including
bits
our
of
audience.
titanium in me now. I'm mostly human. Actually, none of us are mostly human. We're mostly bacteria
Wow.
and other tiny organisms that live on and in us.
Fair enough. But I once listened to a documentary by the gentleman called White Zombie that said more human than human.
What does that even mean?
I think the people that will get that joke will be like, fair.
You need help, sir.
No, I don't. But what I do need is for everyone to head over to
Better help.
professionalcasual.com and follow the blogs, follow the page, check out all of the other podcasts we have here. If you are a subscriber here on Twitch, that means you get access to the Discord just by default. You can come join us and see, honestly, significantly more of these absolutely ridiculous arguments on a very regular basis. If you are not signed up for Everwinter yet, please go do so. It is next weekend. We will be there. We'll be streaming the entire event. It's going to be an absolute blast. Brian Watson, who Dan has unfortunately denoted as not all human, will be there as well. TOing it. Dylan Dyer is going to be there. It's going to be a great old time. Make sure if you are in the Boston area at all that you are headed to wickeddicey.com to sign up for Everwinter and tell them Tim sent you. That said, the Patreon is one of the things that allows us to be here every week. Cannot tell each and every one of you how important it is and how thankful we are for your support over at patreon.com/professionalcasual, especially our King Dean Doppelgangers and our professional cake sitters. If you've checked out episodes of Gapapa in the future, I race to say these names every week, including Dylan Dyer, Cider Drinker, Leroy, Tony Hot Hands, Bicon, Rob, and Bastion.
And Cider Drinker.
And Cider Drinker, thank you. I almost forgot that one.
Twice.
But we really appreciate your guys' support so much. It really helps us out quite a bit. We have equipment that, unfortunately, regularly needs to be replaced. And
These things wear out, apparently. Computers just say, I don't want my battery to work anymore.
It's just, it's a lot.
Dumb.
But we absolutely rely on you guys. Thank you so much. We really couldn't do it without you. And as always, just, I love you. You're great people. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Been actually starting to do stuff on the TikTok again. We're going to be doing a lot more here on Twitch as well in the very near future. 2023 will be a huge year for the network, so make sure to stay tuned. As always, 5-star reviews on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can leave a review for this particular show helps us get out there to more people, and really genuinely helps us quite a bit. We're also offering sleeves. The links are in the show notes. Over at the 5th Trooper, we've been working with them to put out some really cool sleeves that you can use for really whatever game you want. Could be MCP, could be Magic the Gathering, D&D, your board games. They're really cool designs. They look really awesome, and it supports us directly, so we really appreciate that. Lastly, Bearded Dragon Games Online has been supporting us for a very long time. Tony Hot Hands himself was our first professional cake sitter.
From the beginning.
100%. We're very excited to be running some regular events there now. They've upgraded to a new, bigger, brighter, beautiful place at no small expense or risk to themselves, so that very specifically we can be running events there. So we really appreciate Anthony over at Bearded Dragon Games Online. If you are pre-ordering any MCP models, he gets them out incredibly quickly, on time. Most of the time you'll have them on release day. So please consider supporting Bearded Dragon Games Online. You'll get 15% off of retail for pre-ordering through there, and you'll make our local game store your local game store. If you're not pre-ordering stuff, maybe you're catching up on a backlog, or maybe you're grabbing some D&D, some Pathfinder, some Warhammer, some Paint, some board games, some card games, some Magic, some Pokemon, some Yu-Gi-Oh! Listen, it's all there, and you can support the network directly by using code PCME10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. We're about to finish up the show. We're going to start the Patreon-only show, the cleanup phase, where if this episode has been any sign, will be absolutely off the rails. So
we get to argue a whole bunch. Maybe we'll discuss. We're going to discuss a bunch. 8 topics.
Yes, 8 topics. It is also December 1st. There are 2 new live links. Check them out in the show notes for 2 new sleeve designs. I know Dr. Dylan Dyer is going to be very excited about one. For the Shadow Friends. It might be called something else on the site. And also the Magna Bros.
Ooh.
Or the Brother Bros. Or the Brother Buddies.
Magnet Friends.
Yeah, something along those lines will also be going up tonight as well. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And remember to leave the blood on the bracket. This has been Wait, Did I Roll a Wild?
Bye.
Not going to do that one.